going on, everybody? I'm back. You thought I was only going to do Sacred Heart, right? You thought I was only going to do one with some freaking small team in the middle of Connecticut. Really? Nah. I might actually do this if a small team wins the poll. I might wind up, unless it's like a powerful team like a North Dakota State, because they have a lot of history to their name. I didn't know much of anything about Sacred Heart. To be honest, I didn't think they were even going to have a shot at the poll. But they won it. So in this one, big yikes. In this one, I'll be doing an overview, a 2019 recap, and a 2020 preview for both the Pitt Panthers and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And as you can tell by the thumbnail, they play each other this year. Ooh. So anyways, we're going to start off with the Pitt Panthers, the home team in this matchup. Let me just do this real quick. Look up their football history. Of course, they are the home team, I believe, in this year's matchup. That should be a fun matchup for that squad. I've heard a lot of good things about Pitt. In fact, Steele Jackson, shout out to him, he actually sent me a tweet from an NC State fan that said that they were going to go 2-14 or 2 whatever this year. 10 whatever. No. So anyways, the Pitt Panthers, they have played 115 seasons in the NCAA, 1905 to 2019. Their record is 683, 487, and 37, and adjusted win-loss is 684, 486, and 37. They actually gained a win, believe it or not, and they have played in 3 conferences. They were in two conferences, and they were also independent. They played in the Big East and the ACC. 2 conference championships, 35 bowl games. They are 14-21 in those bowl games. And they've been ranked in the AP poll in the preseason 20 times and in the final AP poll 19 times. And they have been ranked a 297 weeks. It's impressive. And, of course, they play at Heinz Field, which also houses their professional football team, the Pittsburgh Squealers. And, of course, that place holds 65,000 people, 65,050 people. And, of course, that is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, looking at the history, if you're wondering when their one because they actually gained a win in 1986. Let me see what the heck happened here. 1986. Let me see here. 1986. Western Michigan forfeited a win over Temple. Virginia Tech forfeited a win over Temple. Temple. Temple was getting some free dubs. Oh, okay. And then Temple was bad. They got a forfeit win over Temple in 1986. Damn, Temple been bad. They forfeited all 6 of their wins. They went from 6-5 to 0-11. Damn, Temple, what'd you do? Oh my. Wow. But yeah, they gained a win. Every win counts. But of course, during their time, they've had some pretty great years. They've been mediocre for the most part these past couple years. Going all the way back to 1905, of course. So they were independent for actually quite a while until they decided to join the Big East. in 1991. And that was their second to last year under Paul Hackett. They went 6-5. The next year, 92, Hackett didn't. He lasted almost all the entire year. He went 3-8. They got rid of him, brought in a interim, and then they brought in John Majors for 4 years. And he wasn't very good. They got rid of him, brought in Walt Harris. And he actually lasted all the way up until 2005. And he actually did take them to a couple bowl games. Liberty Bowl in 97, L. Insight Bowl in 2000, L. They won in the Tangerine Bowl, too, in 2001. They got a win in the Insight Bowl in 2002. Then they lost in the 2003 Continental Tire Bowl, and then they actually made it to the Fiesta Bowl in 2004 under Walt Harris in his final year, and they lost. But yeah, under Walt Harris, they had records of 6-6, 2-9, 5-6, and 7-5, 7-5, 9-4, 8-5, 8-4. Got rid of him, brought in Dave Wanstead, 5-6, 6-6, 5-7. Mediocrity, and then out of nowhere, he brings up a 9-4 record in 2008 in the Big East. They go to the Sun Bowl, they lose. They go 10-3 the next year in 2009. They go to the Meineke Car Care Bowl, win. Then the next year, Wanstead goes 7-5 in 2010, gets canned. Phil Bennett comes in. They go to the Compass Bowl, and this would actually be the first of 3 straight Compass Bowl appearances for the Panthers, and this would be the only one that they win. Then the next year, they bring in Todd Graham. He goes 6-6. They get rid of him literally before the year ends. Keith Patterson comes in, and they get rid of him. Keith Patterson goes 0-1. Then that was like a weird year, 2011. You get rid of freaking Wanstead, replace him with Phil Bennett for like 1 game. He gets a win. Next year, bring in Todd Graham. He goes 6-6. Replace him with Keith Patterson or whatever, and he goes 0-1. Then you bring in Paul Christ. And in 2 years, he goes 6-7, bowl game, Compass Bowl loss. Next year, 7-6. Little Caesars Bowl, W. And then in 2014, Chris would go 6-6, and Joe Rudolph would go 0-1. So another year with 2 head coaches. Dang. And that would be the last time they had a coaching change, as they would bring in Pat Narduzzi. And fun fact, 2013 was the last time they won a bowl game before this past season, as Narduzzi would lead them to 2 straight losses, as a military bowl loss in 2015, a Penn State bowl loss in 2016. They didn't make a bowl game at 5-7. They were that close to a bowl game in 2017. Of course, you need to win 6 games to be bowl eligible. And of course, they lost in the Sun Bowl in 2018. And they won the Quick Lane Bowl in 2019. I believe that game had a little bit of controversy with it, too. So, yeah, Pitt is a very, very good team from what I hear this year. I think they could possibly contend for the ACC. We'll see what happens. But taking a look at their schedule from last year, and, of course, their season started off with a loss to Virginia. Then they would rebound with a win over Ohio. They lose to Penn State. Good going. And then they would rattle off 4 straight wins by beating UCF by 1 point, beating Delaware by 3, beating Duke by 3, bye week, and then going to Syracuse and squeaking out a win against them. And then they narrowly lose to Miami, the U, at Heinz Field. Then they would rebound and beat Georgia Tech by 10, 20-10. Another bye week. Then they would host North Carolina and beat them in overtime 34-27. And then they would end the regular season with 2 straight losses, a 28-zip loss to Virginia Tech at Lane Stadium, and then they would lose 26-19 to BC. Oh, God. And then they would rebound, and they would go into the Quick Lane Bowl, and they would beat Eastern Michigan in Detroit. So, hey, at least you got a dub in the bowl game, right? Send the seniors out with a W. Let's see what this chat is saying. Okay, yeah, way worse than Pitt. Honestly, I don't really watch much ACC, although we do have the ACC network. I just figured that out. So, I mean, if they're on TV, I might have to check them out. Should be interesting. But I think Pitt will be a legit team to watch. Now, looking at their schedule for this season, it's a nice-looking schedule. Got some games that they should win. Of course, they start off on Saturday, September 5th, against Miami, Ohio, the Red Hawks at Heinz Field. That should be a win. Then they play Marshall on September 12th. That should be a win. Then they play Richmond. That should be a win. Then they play Duke. That should be a win. Then they play the U. Honestly, I could see them winning this game. I could see them winning this game. Bro, I don't know if Steele Jackson's in here. I could see your Panthers starting off the season 5-0. You guys are literally knocking on the door to bowl game eligibility within the first 5 weeks of the year. And then you have a bye week. And then you freaking face Notre Dame. Ah, yes, that's going to be a big game there. Honestly, I'm going to say you guys probably lose that game to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is very good, but knowing Notre Dame, I could see Pitt pulling it off. It is at Pitt, by the way. Then you have Georgia Tech, and I think that's the game where you guys officially punch your ticket to bowl eligibility. Then you have Florida State. I could see you winning there. You host Virginia Tech. Honestly, you're probably going to lose, unfortunately. Then you have North Carolina. That's kind of a back and forth one. I don't know where that could go. That'll be a competitive game. I think you guys could squeak it out. Virginia has another toughie. Ooh, defending, they were in the conference title game last year. I could see you guys taking them down. Then you have Syracuse. I think you guys could beat them. So, honestly, I think you guys get, around 9, maybe 10 wins if everything's going right. No cap. But I don't know how things are going. I know Maiden's team is the Irish, but yeah, Steele Jackson. That's going to be funny. Steele Jackson versus Steele Maiden. Ooh. 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 Damn. But yeah, I could see the Panthers making some noise this year. I think their floor is like 7 wins. Their ceiling is like 10. Yeah, I could see it. I could honestly, if they start the season 5-0, bro, could you imagine that? Oh my God. Out of nowhere, they start 5-0. Don't be surprised. But yeah, I think Pitt could be a team to really keep an eye on this. It'll be really interesting to see what the Panthers can do. So, with that being said, 8-4 losses to FSU, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, and North Carolina. I can see that. Like I said, 7 to 10 wins is like a good measuring stick for them. So, I mean, look at their first 5 games. I mean, they could really get rolling here. They get some momentum going, and then they, of course, come off against Notre Dame. I think they lose that game, though. I could honestly see them losing to Miami, Florida, and then bye week, losing to Notre Dame, and then rattling off maybe 1 or 2 wins, and then losing to Tech and losing to North Carolina. I could honestly see it where the wheels completely fall off and they lose 4 straight games to end the year. That would suck. I could just see it like this. They win, let's say 4 straight. They lose to the U. bye week. You come out, you lose to Notre Dame, you beat Georgia Tech, you beat Florida State. Woohoo! That would get you what, bowl eligible? Yeah, because that's 4 wins here. Loss, dub. So there's just 6 wins. And then they got too busy celebrating their 6 wins. Woohoo! We got 6 wins. Woohoo! Yeah, let's go. Yeah. And then you lose 4 straight. Like, well, dang. Wow. I'm trolling, but yeah, I could see Pitt being a surprise team this year. Don't sleep on the Panthers. So now, with that being said, honestly, I could see them if they win like 10 games. I could see them going to the what is it? They could be in the contention for the championship game. Yeah, it's lit. So now, with that being said, let's take a look at the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This, of course, is Steel Maiden's team. Yeah, this is Steel Maiden's team. In case you didn't know, he is now a Fighting Irish fan, and I think Steel Maiden chose a great team to be a fan of. Honestly, like that's a good choice. I'm glad they didn't pick the team up north, and I mean, I didn't think he was going to pick like West Virginia or something like that, because he didn't want to absolutely piss off all his Pitt Panther friends. Because I don't think they like West Virginia very much over there in Pittland. Oh my God. Notre Dame, as you can imagine, is very rich in their history. They are, of course, one of the most historical teams in NCAA history. They have been playing ball since 1899, as they have been playing for 113 years. And for all 113 years, they have been independent. How about that? They're not even in a conference. Never been in a conference, probably never will be in a conference. But yeah, their records, they are 8-52, 3-12, and 33. And adjusted record, they've been very bad, apparently. Yeah, they're 8-31, 3-12, and 33. They just had, like, what is that? Friggin' 21 wins is wiped off the face of the earth or something? Damn, what they do? Let me see. God, 831 from 852 to 831? Damn. Well, obviously, right here, 2013, they vacated all 9 of their wins there. They didn't forfeit, they just vacated them. That wiped off 9 wins there. Damn. But where'd the rest of them go? 2012. Oh, there they are, all 12 wins. Damn. What is that? 2 years of just woof. Damn, man. They were 12-1 in 2012. Nope. You went 0-1. And then, of course, 2013, literally the next year. So, yeah, 2 years. All those wins are gone. 9-4, 12-1. No, bye. No bueno. Damn. But yeah, they're still insanely, they still got an insanely amazing record. Bowl record. They've been in 38 bowl games, 19-19. Let's take a look at some of the major bowl games that they've been in. I know I'm probably going to go back to Pitt as well to look at the major bowl games they've been in. Well, I thought it would show, but I guess it doesn't. Okay. But yeah. They've been ranked in the AP poll 56 times in the preseason, 55 times in the final, and they've been ranked a total of 816 weeks. By the way, in bowl games, they're 19-19. So they're perfectly 500. That's crazy. And, of course, they play at Notre Dame Stadium in South Bend, Indiana. Of course, you have Touchdown Jesus overlooking the stadium in one of the end zones. Freaking legendary. Notre Dame Stadium. houses 80,795 fans, and it's located in Notre Dame, Indiana. South Bend. Yeah. So looking at their like overall history, again, they've been independent since they started. But we're only going to go back until, let's say, like the 1980s. Of course, 1986, Lou Holtz became their coach. And, I mean, the dude literally went 5-6, 8-4, rattled off a 12-0, 12-1, 9-3, 10-3, 10-1-1, 11-1, 6-5-1, 9-3, 8-3. And in that span, he made it to a Cotton Bowl, loss, won a Fiesta Bowl, won an Orange Bowl, lost the Orange Bowl, won a Sugar Bowl, won a Cotton Bowl, won another Cotton Bowl, lost another Fiesta Bowl, lost a Fiesta Bowl, I should say, and then lost an Orange Bowl. So that's a pretty good streak there. And then, of course, he didn't make it in his final year. He went 8-3. They replaced him with Bob Davie, and he went 7-6, 9-3, 5-7, 9-3, and 5-6. So kind of a roller coaster. And then they got rid of him. Brought in Tyrone Willingham, 10-3 in his first year, lost in the Gator Bowl. By the way, with Bob Davie, they went Independence Bowl, lost in the Gator, and then in his second to last year, they lost in the Fiesta at 9-3 in 2000. Yeah. And then Willingham would miss the bowl game by a game in the second year, and then in his final year went 6-5. They let him go, brought in Kent Bear, and then they lost the Insight Bowl. And then came in Charlie Weiss. Yep, Charlie Weiss. And they would go 9-3 in the Fiesta, 10-3 in the Sugar, 3-9 in 07, and then in the Hawaii Bowl, 7-6, and then in his final year, 6-6. And in those bowl games, let's take a look and see who they lost to. 2005 Fiesta. Glendale, Arizona. That's where it's been located. Let's see here. 2005, of course, we beat them. Troy Smith took him down. And then that must have been that game, man. I remember a little bit of that game. Wasn't it Brady Quinn? Because I think if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that was Brady Quinn. Damn. That's crazy. Oh my God. And then in 06, they went to the Sugar Bowl. Let me see who they faced in that Sugar Bowl in 06. They faced Louisiana State. Wow. That's crazy. That was actually the first year of it being called the All-State Sugar Bowl. It was fresh off of being referred to as the Nokia. Oh, remember Nokia? Nokia Sugar Bowl? Damn. All-State Sugar Bowl. Wow, that's crazy. So, Notre Dame, they've been very successful over the years. Charlie Weiss would then leave, and of course, the Fighting Irish would bring in Brian Kelly, and his tenure would start with an 8-5 record and a win in the Sun Bowl. They would then go to the Champs Sports Bowl in 2011 and lose. Then they go to the BCS Championship and they lose in 2012. They go to the Pinstripe Bowl. They win. They go to the Music City Bowl, get a win. 2015 Fiesta Bowl, loss. Then they would go to, in 2016, they would kind of underwhelm, 4-8. Next year, 10-3, winning the Citrus Bowl. 2018, lost in the Cotton Bowl. And then they would bounce back with a win, 11-2 in the Camping World Bowl. Now, 2018, of course, that was the start. That was the playoff. And they got absolutely trounced by Clemson. I remember streaming that game too. I think I streamed that game, and that was it was ugly. Oh God. I was like, really? No, they let Notre Dame in there? Really? Okay. Yeah, they were the number 3. They only scored 3 points. And yeah, 72,000 people went to that game. That's crazy. But yeah, that was crazy. I think that to this day, I think Sparty is the only team to not score a point in a college football playoff game. Yeah, they didn't score a point. Every other team, I'm pretty sure, has. Even Notre Dame scored 3. But very good team there in Notre Dame. Let's see what their schedule looks like. Now, this is a very fun part about Notre Dame. With them being independent, they don't necessarily have a set schedule. They don't have conference opponents. And that's what makes things really interesting too, because with the way the situation is, with how things are going, if they don't play non-con games, you're not in a conference, so you're kind of screwed. you're kind of screwed there, buddy. But I'm sure they'd figure something out. I'm sure they would figure something out. I mean, they kind of would have to, you would think, right? Okay, so here's Notre Dame's 2019 schedule. And of course, looking at last year's schedule, they started off the season with a big win over Louisville, 35-17, and then they had a bye week 2. Okay. Then they come off the bye with a 66-14 drubbing of New Mexico. Then they turn around and lose to Georgia. They bounce back with 3 straight wins over Virginia, Bowling Green, and USC. That USC win came 30-27. Then they have another bye week. They had another bye week. They came off the bye week with a 45-14 L to the team up north. Good going again, of course. Then after that loss, it's like that loss woke them up, because they would not lose again for the rest of the year, as they would beat Virginia Tech by 1 point, 21-20. They would beat Duke 38-7, beat Navy 52-20, beat Boston College 40-7, and then smash Stanford 45-24. And then they would go to the Camping World Bowl and beat Iowa State 33-9. That's another thing. If the Pac-12 doesn't play games, most of the teams they play are in the Pac-12. Like, looking at their schedule this year, of course, they start off with that game against Navy in Dublin, Ireland. Then they have a bye week, of course, because you need a bye week coming out of Ireland, right? And then you have Arkansas, Western Michigan, Wake Forest, Wisconsin, Stanford, Pitt, bye week, Duke, Clemson, Georgia Tech, Louisville, and USC. So let's say, Pac-12 be having some crazy things going on where you can't play in California. Well, that's kind of tricky, because they play Stanford, but it's in South Bend. So what do? Do they let Stanford travel but not play in their stadium? That'd be kind of interesting. I mean, it's not like their schedule would be completely doomed. I mean, they only play 2 SEC. I mean, Pac-12. What am I saying SEC for? They only play 2 Pac-12 teams. They play a couple ACC, and they play a Big Ten. So it's not like the schedule would be completely washed. They do play an SEC team technically in Arkansas. Ooh, Arkansas. But yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how things go with this whole situation. Of course, I believe the NCAA has been trying to say, I heard something about them wanting to get kids back to doing workouts and stuff on campus by mid-June. I think we're going to have college football. In fact, Ohio State's AD said he could honestly see it where stadiums are maybe one-third full. And honestly, 30,000 people fitting in a 100,000 seat stadium, which is the shoe, doesn't sound so bad. There's enough room to space everybody out. Maybe you can even go less than that, like 15, 20,000. The tricky thing would be those smaller stadiums, because you got to think, not every stadium is like the big house or the shoe. Think about like those smaller schools, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how they do it. But of course, you go, one-third full for those things, like freaking, you'd have like 1,000 some fans going to some of these games. But I think we will have college football. There may be fans there. Who knows what's going to happen? Of course, the good thing with Notre Dame is they don't play USC until very late in the year in November. So hopefully by then, things will be cooled down and maybe this thing will be resolved. Maybe we'll have a vaccine by then. Maybe we'll all just be looking back going, hey, remember those couple months where, we were all going nuts because of a freaking virus, but then a vaccine came out of nowhere and, we're all saved. Could you imagine that? I mean, who knows what's going to happen. But, just for lulz, let's take a look and see who Notre Dame plays in 21, because, of course, like I said, they are independent. So their schedule changes every year pretty much. 2021, they play Florida State, Toledo, Purdue, Wisconsin, Cincy, Virginia Tech. Off bye week. USC, North Carolina, Navy, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Stanford. All right. So, yeah, their next couple of years are going to be fun for Notre Dame. And, of course, we play Notre Dame in a couple of years, too. So that'll be even more fun. In fact, let's take a look. Just for lulz, let's see who they play along with us. So they come to Ohio Stadium in 2022 to start off their year. Then they host Marshall. They host Cal. They host Stanford. They host UNLV. They host Clemson. Then they have USC. Now, of course, I'm sure there's going to be games sprinkled in there. Like you have North Carolina, Boston College, Syracuse, and Navy in there somewhere. But, that'll be fun. Notre Dame looks like they're going to be a fun team to watch again. Of course, Pitt and Notre Dame do play each other this year. So I'm sure that's going to be a good game. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But, F the Mountaineers. What's going on? NC State is awful. Notre Dame, 11-1, lost to Clemson. But if I had to give a record prediction for these guys, I'm going to say for 2020 for the Fighting Irish, I'm going to say, okay, let's see here. I'm just going to roll through this. They're going to beat Navy because they own them. They're going to beat Arkansas because really, they're going to beat Western Michigan, beat Wake Forest. So again, much like Pitt, they're going to start off 4-0. Then they go to Lambeau to face Wisconsin. Ooh. They go to Lambeau to face Wisconsin. That's going to be an interesting one because Jonathan Taylor's not there anymore. Just because I don't really like Wisconsin, I'm going to say Notre Dame sneaks up on them and takes them out. I think they're going to start off 5-0. Then they have Stanford. I think they're probably going to beat Stanford. They go to Hines to play Pitt. I'm going to say they beat Pitt. And then they have Duke. They're going to beat Duke. They have Clemson. They're going to lose to Clemson, beat Georgia Tech, beat Louisville, and then probably beat USC. Damn, I really have them going, what is that, 11-1, 12-1? I mean, it's possible. It's possible they could go one loss. There are some games that are kind of, iffy. I mean, Wisconsin's an iffy one. I don't really know what they're going to look like. They usually have a stout defense. I don't know what their offense is going to look like without Jonathan Taylor. I'm sure they're still going to be a really good team, though. Stanford, again, I don't know. I mean, Clemson, we already know what they're going to be pretty much like. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is back. A lot of their good players are back on offense. ETN's back. Yeah, was it Amari Rogers, Justin Ross, and all them? Yeah, they're going to be just like they were last year. They're going to be a very good team. USC, that's kind of hard to say. It'll be interesting to see what they do. I think ceiling and floor for the Irish, at worst, I could see 3 losses, and at best, 1 loss. I don't think they're going to beat Clemson in any scenario. I don't have them beating Clemson, even though it's at Notre Dame, unless Clemson comes out flat or something. In fact, let's see who Clemson plays this year. Right before they play Notre Dame, they're coming off a bye too. Oh yeah, they're going to smack Notre Dame. Bro, they're coming off a bye. They're going to smack Notre Dame. I mean, they're going to come off the bye all rested up. Meanwhile, Notre Dame is coming off Duke. I mean, who knows, though? Who honestly knows? But yeah, Notre Dame plays Duke on freaking Halloween. Dang. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm going for over a half an hour. Ohio State in 2016, unlike with my Sooners, they aren't in a conference, so they schedule whoever they. Yeah, we need to get kind of conference situated because we got conference games. Notre Dame could be in the college football playoff. I think they could be too. They're going to be a threat. 8-4 losses. Okay, yeah. We play FSU on Halloween. Yeah. In fact, let me see who. Let me see if we play anyone on Halloween. I'm pretty sure we do. It's probably some probably like friggin' Sparty or something. In fact, let me go check here real quick. Let me go here. Ohio State. All right. So let's go 2020 schedule. Let's see. We play Nebraska on Halloween. Ooh. At Ohio Stadium. Ooh. You know what? If we were Savage, I would do the blackout on that game. Do the blackout on Halloween. Ooh, there you go. Do the blackout on Halloween. I guess that's a new tradition that we have now. The blackout. Those black jerseys that Ohio State has are freaking insane. In fact, be right back. In case you don't know what our blackout jerseys look like, I mean they're dope. But yeah, these are the ones that this is what they wear on the blackout. This is a Chase Young. It's freaking dope. I love it. But yeah, they wear these on Halloween. That'd be insane. But yeah, I think that's like a new tradition that we have. I love when Ohio State occasionally busts out like a retro jersey. But I love the blackout ones, and of course these ones as well. We got some pretty good jerseys. So yeah. Now in reference to who should I do next, let's get some suggestions from the chat. Who should I do next? In fact, I'm not even going to do a poll. I'm going to take the first team that pops up in that chat, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to give them an overview on Friday. So the first team that pops up in that chat that I haven't already done. First team. Who's it going to be? I'm sure it's going to be like Oklahoma. And yeah, that's fine. Florida? Okay, Florida. I'll be doing the Florida Gators on Friday. So there you go. Just playing the Big East. I love to see what we can do in the ACC for the next 2-3 decades. Yeah. Man, the Big East, man. It's like that division that conference that's a basketball conference now. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing Florida. That's gonna be fun because they got that history. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Dipping my toes in the SEC. Ooh. But yeah, that'll be the next team I do. And that'll be fun. Big East has always been a basketball conference. Yeah. In fact, because before I end this, let's take a look at something here for the Big Ten. I always wondered. Let's see what teams, because conferences have what are called affiliated members, where they're like it's complicated member. They're a member of the conference, but in only a certain sport. So, of course, you have the members. You have Indiana, Maryland, Team Up North, Sparty. You have Penn State. You have Butgers. I still to this day don't know how they got in the conference. You have Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Northwestern, Purdue, and Wisconsin. Associate members, you only have two. Yeah, two associate members. Johns Hopkins University in men's and women's lacrosse, and get this, Notre Dame in the ice hockey. They're in ice hockey. Their primary conference, I guess, is ACC. That's interesting. We did have one old member, the University of Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. I guess it's like UIC. I don't know if they still have sports. Well, they left in 1946, but still, a co-founder of the conference. Damn. School dropped football in 39, but remained a member in other sports until the end of the 45-46 season, academic year. Lake Forest, not Wake, Lake Forest College, attended the original 1895 meeting that led to the formation of the conference, but never participated in athletics or any other activities. Oh, so they were just there to be there. They're like, "Hi guys, we're just here because we're bored and we have nothing better to do. We don't want to participate in anything. We're just here to be here." It's like, why are you here then? Stupid. Bro. Oh man, that's funny. But while we're talking about Notre Dame, let's take a look because that's interesting. We're an affiliate member in the Big Ten. Let's take a look and see what other sports they're a member of. You know what? Let me do this. I think it'll be easier to determine ACC. Let's see if the ACC has any affiliate members. So, of course, the ACC's current main members, you have Boston College, Clemson, Florida State, Louisville, NC State, Notre Dame, of course, Syracuse, Wake Forest. A lot of them joined after the Big East dissolved in terms of football. Duke, Georgia Institute of Technology, which is Georgia Tech, of course. The U, North Carolina at Chapel Hill. You have Pitt, Virginia, and this is I did not know this was the full name for Virginia Tech. Virginia Polytechnical Institute and State University. They could have easily been called Virginia Poly. Because I think you have a college called Cal Poly or something like that. No, it's a high school called Long Beach Poly in California. Former members, South Carolina and Maryland. Maryland was actually a member until 2014 when they fled to the Big Ten for some reason. South Carolina was a member until 1971. A lot of people call South Carolina USC Junior. Let's see what else we got here. Academic rankings, spending and revenue. You have facilities. Okay, men's sponsored sports by school. Yeah, so you see all the teams that have sports. Like Duke, they have every sport, 13 sports. Some have only 9. Freaking Miami has 7.5. The heck? They must only have like one of swimming and diving, I guess. That's weird. Notre Dame has 11. Look at this. Notre Dame is in the ACC in all but 2 sports. So they're not a fully dedicated independent. They're in the ACC in all but 2 sports. What is it? Let me see here. Football, obviously, and wrestling. Wow, that's interesting. You know? Okay. Men's varsity sports, not sponsored by Atlantic Coast Conference, which are played by ACC schools. Ice hockey, rifle, rowing, sailing, skiing, and squash. Wow. Squash. Women's sports. Notre Dame, again, has all but 1. That is field hockey. Wow. Not sponsored by the Atlantic Coast Conference. Beach volleyball, gymnastics, ice hockey again, rifle, sailing, skiing, and squash. Lovely. So they don't have those awkward teams that are in that conference, but for like a certain sport, maybe except for Notre Dame. Might be one of the only ones. This is crazy, bro. Like so much information. But yeah, ACC is pretty interesting. But let's see what else. Same with the ACC. Big East always has been a basketball conference. Yep. But yeah, I'm going to be doing Florida for my next one. That'll be a fun one. Considering Urban Meyer used to be their coach, of course, before he came here. And then he would leave a couple years later. I think what I'm probably going to wind up doing is I'm probably going to do Florida and then maybe like Oklahoma or something. I just thought, it'd be fun to do the poll for the first one, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like I did just now, where I'm going to literally say the first school that comes in that chat is going to be the school that I do next. So it'll be Florida. I might do Oklahoma at some point. I'm probably only going to do a handful of these. Maybe I've done 2 now, or I guess you could say 4. So I'm probably going to wind up doing maybe 20 of these things, maybe less, depending on how the reception is. And then I'm going to do conferences and do my conference previews. So that'll be fun. Power 5, Group of 5, Independence, all that good stuff. So I've been going for over 48 minutes. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. So with that being said, guys, this was fun, and I will see you guys on what would it be Friday for my overview of Florida. That'll be fun. So again, shout out to everyone who came in here, and I'll see you guys on Friday. I'm Crazy Dog 99. Let's go Buckeyes, and yeah, I'm out.